here many times, so Gloria wants to introduce herself, but I'm not going to. Most of you know my story and have met me before. I was just going to talk a little bit about, like, well, actually, I'll let Gloria go first. So she's going to introduce herself, and she's going to talk about what the board covers.
First of all, thank you so much for having me here today. Again, my name is Gloria Baxter. I 610, which is North Virginia, and I go all the way out to Plainfield Road, encompasses a bit of Plainfield Township, a little bit of Detroit Township. And about a year ago, last April, I was actually approached to run for the county board, and I had not been in any type of political activity or I had been in politics, so I'm very interested in it. So a lot of the political part of what goes on is new to me. But I just want you to all know that, like all of you, we are citizens and we need to get involved. And what I saw going on was that a gentleman had moved into my district to run for the spot. He hadn't lived there. I'd been there for 30-some years. And I just thought that was wrong. I mean, if you're going to represent your community, you need to at least live there, work there. And a person who was running hadn't really been there at all. So I decided that I would run, and I worked. I worked and did a lot of work, did a lot of door knocking. I hit every district and introduced myself to as many people as I possibly could. And every day I was out in the subdivisions and meeting people. And that's what it takes. But it takes work. So anything that you want done or anything that you feel that's worth the while takes work. And I think with some of the things that go on in the state of Illinois, we do need to be persistent. And if we have questions, we may not always have the answers. Definitely, I know I'm new at this. I definitely know I don't have all the answers. But we need to investigate, find out answers to any questions that you might have, and get the work done so that we can make sure that we do have the rights that we want to have. As a part of the board member, there are 26 representatives, 13 districts. So each district has 2 representatives. And currently, Republicans have the majority on the board. That's been like that for the last couple of years. But now we have the supermajority, which is a little nicer for us in a voting block a little bit. So it's nice. A little easier to get things done. But one of the things is that the county board is one element, and the county executive is another element. County executive does have a whole different team of people that works for him that is different than the county board. So county board we pass resolutions to get the work done, to get the roads done, to get a lot of the infrastructure, the projects, the court, a lot of the stuff done in the county. And the executive, he then has the authority to do what we kind of tell him to do by the projects that we give resolutions to. So that's kind of how that works. We have a capital improvements project, our committee, that you'll see, especially with the courthouse, Leroy Road, public safety building going up, and then eventually we'll be working on a health department building, a new health department building. Finance, that's your budget. Judicial really works with our legal system and with the courthouse and everything that goes on within the jurisdiction of that. Then we have land use and development, which are a lot of projects, I guess a lot of development projects that are going on that are obviously that have implications with a lot of homeowners and movement of things going on. Legislative, we have a liaison, a chairperson who actually works with representatives downstate with issues that affect the county. Then we have a public health and safety, which works along with our health department, so we definitely have somebody on the board who is on the health department board. And then the final committee we have is public works and transportation, and so they do a lot of the highway projects, and so they're working with a lot of the road construction. That seems to always have a big part of our agendas and a lot of our infrastructure. So those are, and I fix something. Those are the committees. What are you doing over there, Dave? You're touching stuff. So those are the committees we have. Every board member is on a committee or 2 or 3. I'm on public health, finance, and capital. And I've just been put on the Workforce Investment Board, which is an appointed position and brings people from all over the county on a board, not just elected officials. It's a lot of different people. So that's a little bit about what we do, just to kind of give you some framework. Our committees, we do work in committee structures. We have lots of meetings during the month. And then tomorrow we actually have our big county board meeting.
So as you mentioned, the structure of the county government is that the board passes the resolution, makes the policies, and we direct the executive of what we want him to do, but we will give you the impression that he's making decisions and he's the one out there doing these things. But just to make it like a little bit more applicable, a little bit more understandable, we handle things like zoning variances if you want to build something or you want to split your land, we handle that. Building codes, building permits, setting fees across county departments. Some examples would be like in the criminal justice system, we set those fees, recorder's fees, clerk's fees. All the fees basically in the county are set by the board. Building and maintaining county roads and bridges, as she mentioned, obviously that's a huge part of our budget is roads and bridges. Building and maintaining county buildings, as she mentioned. Liquor licenses for the unincorporated areas, we handle that. We run the jail we direct the sheriff's department, but basically the funding comes through us and then they actually execute it, but we run the jail. And county health inspections, like restaurant inspections, well water testing. That is through the health department, so again, they're empowered by us, but they actually go out and do that. So one of the things that I wanted to emphasize when we talk about, how do you get involved, how do you interface with us, if you need something from us, how do you do that? The one thing, you may not know who to talk to. So knowing us or being able to reach out to us is one thing that you can do. You can just simply email me and say, this is my problem, who do I go to? And I can help you figure that out. So that's one service that we can provide to you. A lot of things are not handled by us. They're through the various departments, whether it's the assessor's office, that sort of thing. It could be a variety of things that we can help you figure out who the right person is to talk to. And it could be an issue in the entire neighborhood. The candidates aren't here tonight, but they live in Caroline, which is it's technically Queenfield, right off of Weber Road. And they have an issue right now where they want a temporary signal because of all the construction that's going to be going on in Weber Road. And so they had a meeting, they had an all-Caroline meeting, and they invited a bunch of us to go. And so we went and we heard their concerns, and we brought that back. And we said, hey, listen, we need to do something for these residents in this area. And I help them understand. There were people standing up at the meeting going, we need this now. Why can't we have it now? They were getting really angry. And I said, listen, there's a process, and this is what it is. I said, send a few representatives, have a dozen people come to a committee meeting, and let the committee know, the Public Works Committee, let them know that you need this. Let them know that you want this, and this is something you need. And then, if that doesn't work, go to the county board meeting and speak during the public comment time. You can get the attention of 26 people in about 5 minutes. It's very effective. There was a man who came and spoke during the public comment time. It might have been right before Gloria got on the board, so I don't know if she's heard this one. But he brought photographs, and he had made enough photocopies for all of us, and he passed out these photographs, and he had bullet holes in the windows of his house. And it was there was an illegal rodeo out in the unincorporated area that's been going on for many, many years, and they're shooting off guns, and they're going into the subdivision where this guy lives. And he's got young kids, and they're literally coming in his house. And so obviously, we're sitting there listening to him tell this story, and we're just appalled. I mean, and he got our attention very effectively by coming and speaking at the meeting like that. And just one other example example I can give you is I had, I think it might have actually even been from this group, I had a veteran email me, and he expressed concern that he has been getting an exemption on his property taxes for many years because he's a disabled veteran. And he produces, you know, a certain type of paperwork every year, and they give him his exemption. And they had notified him that he might not get his exemption just based on that paperwork, and that they might, you know, they might be like taking that away from him. And he was very concerned about that. And so, you know, I said, you know, that's not my department. Obviously, that the assessor's office handles that. But if I need to go and talk to Rhonda Novak on this guy's behalf, I'm more than happy to do that, you know. And I said, just let me know if it doesn't work out. And I didn't hear from him again, so I'm assuming it did work out. But if I have to go talk to Rhonda Novak, I will do that. You know, that is something that I'm happy to do. I don't know if it's necessarily part of the job, but I'm happy to do it for my constituents and for people who reach out to me. Do you have anything else?
No, I think, again, a lot of times I do think just use us as resources. If we don't necessarily have the answers, we will definitely hunt it out and figure it out and work with you to figure out a resolution that will help. I know I have had, you know, constituents, and a lot of times because of where my district is, a lot of times it's Joliet, the city. But I know people in Joliet, and I know people at the city. So even though it might not be just a county issue, I can still make those contacts or help through the process. And so I think that's what we're here to do is to help. Can't always, it's maybe not the resolution you may want, but we're here to help and try to figure out some answers for you with some of the different things that are going on.
So we know we talked short. We did that on purpose because we wanted to questions. So whatever questions you have.
Or not.
Do we have any questions?
Oh, wow. Michelle.
On 59, golf course.
Oh, yeah. Inwood?
Yeah, are you going to let the permit go in for our dealership there?
That, again, is city. That's with Joliet. That's with the city of Joliet. So the county doesn't really have any say on that property there. It's all through the city of Joliet. And so I think the Joliet Park District is selling the land, or at least that's the proposal. They still probably have to go through some different regulations through the city, but that's all within the city, and the county doesn't have any jurisdiction over that. So if you have concerns with that, you're going to want to go to the city council for that.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he's asking about the truck traffic here in Elwood. That's a result of the intermodal facilities coming in. Right. So any roads that are county roads, obviously we do have jurisdiction over those. We actually don't have a lot of roads in this area. We made an exchange recently, I think it was about a year or two ago. We gave Arsenal Road to the state. We said, here, you take it. So the one road that we did have, we got rid of it. So we are not super involved now. The representatives for this district, which are Don Gould and Debbie Militello, it was Reagan Freitag. Don and Reagan were very involved with speaking to Elwood Village, trustees and mayor and things like that, trying to work something out. So that's another thing that we do is we work with other elected officials to try to come to, try to find a solution to problems like that, because they are big problems, and they don't follow clear boundaries. Unfortunately, problems don't fit into these boxes like that. And so we do try to reach out to those people and see if we can. So they have worked on it. I don't think that's a strong thing to be open. I think that's a done deal. I was pretty set on that, so I don't think that's much. But yeah, unfortunately, the various towns that voted to have these intermodals, they let them in thinking, oh, money, not thinking about what the repercussions of that was going to be. I mean, there's always a trade-off, right? I mean, you don't get money for nothing. So I think a lot of these towns didn't really foresee what it was going to be like after the intermodals came in. And we had a similar thing, I think it was Beecher. There was a neighborhood down in Beecher. On one side of the road was the neighborhood. On the other side is empty land, and it was purchased by CSX Railroad. And they had planned, they were very open, they wanted to bring in a metal facility down there. And of course, nobody wants in a metal facility across the street from the neighborhood, and of course not. Well, this happened 10 years ago, and it was allowed by the city of Beecher. And so they come to our meeting, and they tell us this sad story, and we're like, we're sorry, we can't help you. This happened 10 years ago, and there was a Beecher situation. So unfortunately, a lot of times, we really want to help people, and a lot of times I think there's just nothing we can do.
Yeah.
The county is participating in a freight mobility study, so we are really looking at the issue of freight, and the movement of freight in the county, the state. Just so a lot of you know, a majority of the freight actually goes through the county.
It doesn't actually stop in the county. So over 65% of the freight traffic that we see actually just kind of comes through and doesn't really stop here in the county. But that does mean that 45% of the traffic does. It's either inner township, inner counties within our area, inner jurisdictional areas. So there is movement. We so see that. Our goal through the study is to really get municipalities to start having maybe some conversations together and, be a little more proactive in what's happening than reactive. And I think the study that's being done will allow people to have some basic framework to start from. And we can really kind of see where the issues are and then take that information and maybe make better decisions based on information and not maybe one thing driving economic. At one time, maybe you were the only intermodal, but now we are becoming a very big inland intermodal, and we have to learn how to handle that. The county doesn't have jurisdiction over the townships or the municipalities, but we can at least try to drive some conversation so that things are done in a respectful way and in a way that is beneficial for all involved and not just one-sided. So I think that's where we do have a big role in that area. You had a question. Oh, okay.
I'm not...
What the question is?
He wants to know why we got rid of those numbers, why we gave it to the state. I'm not on the committee that made that decision, but I have a feeling it is becoming a trust method. They want to just overload permits all the time, and it tears up the road. And we just simply said, okay, that'll be someone else's problem, essentially. But I really can't give you a better answer than that. I really don't know all of the issues that we have.
And that might have happened with, I was not on the board at the time, but I'm thinking it probably had to do when they went to do the interchange, and just within that jurisdiction of the interchange to do that swap probably made most sense.
Because the county board, he's talking about planning and zoning commission. Because the county board makes decisions for unincorporated areas, there are a lot of issues that come before us that have to do with land use, and people have land, they want to use it in a certain way, and it may not conform to the code. And, you know, do you live in unincorporated Joliet?
I am. So everybody around me.
Okay. So we're very sensitive, you know, I've lived unincorporated, she's lived unincorporated. We're very sensitive to the issues of living in an unincorporated area. And I tend to be, you know, I tend to be libertarian, especially when it comes to those types of things. I tend to go with the person who owns the property. I tend to go with the property owner. And, you know, I understand codes are codes for a reason. But, you know, we see a lot of things come in where, you know, somebody's doing outdoor storage and, you know, the mayor of the town, of the adjacent town doesn't like it. Well, this guy's not in your town. He's unincorporated. You don't get to tell him what to do. That's why behind that unincorporated land, so you can do things like that. And so we see these types of issues and, you know, one of the things that I find a lot of, we have conflict on the board, and it doesn't go along party lines, is one of these type of issues. Those type of, you know, property owner versus corporate, you know, whether it's municipal or, you know, whatever the other interest is, but there's a lot of conflict there, and there's people on both sides of the political spectrum who tend to go for the property owner.
And a lot of times, like Graham, it's always great to see you at those meetings, but there usually is discussion, which is nice, and usually the people who are involved in the issue are there to speak their mind, and then we can have somebody else that, you know, on maybe the other side, and usually we can try to find some compromise. But being new and I'm reading all these ordinances, what is interesting is a lot of these ordinances are from 1947, they're dated, a little dated, or there might be an amendment to it or a change of the ordinance, and that was back in maybe the 70s or 80s. And so I think as time changes and more people are moving and into more unincorporated areas, we have to take a look at some of these ordinances and really make sure that they are appropriate. And that's why, too, I think there is discussion and there when it comes to the land use, and they might want to go by what the ordinance says, and we're like, well, come on, we need to be a little more practical, because this is what's really happening in the life of the people that are making that change. So it's a big difference. All the way in the way back.
So you live actually in University Park? Yeah, you would have to look at their ordinances. That wouldn't be covered by county ordinances. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know they're working on part of it right now. Yeah, I haven't heard anything all the way. I know we talked about it, but there hasn't been any discussion about doing a major big project on it. If you were, when the whole Connect York County 240 proposal comes out, I'll do the readings in there.
Actually, I don't want to contradict you, Gloria, but actually the packet for tomorrow, I'm halfway through it, and it's got the 5-year transportation plan. And there are some mentions of railway in the 5-year plan, so I don't know if that's going to be full, like 2 lanes in each direction, but it is, yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
So we noticed that it is thoroughfare now. I mean, it's the way people are getting across. I know today from Frankfurt, that there was, they had me come all the way across Railway Road, Chicago, down here. So there's definitely a lot of traffic on that.
Well, see, we're never in a hurry. We want to take our time.
We do, eventually. say we don't base those decisions solely on when the law was made, but there are things that come up from time to time that we realize, as Gloria said, are outdated. We actually just about a year and a half ago, I want to say, we had an issue come up. We had been requiring a special use permit for backyard chickens. If you had a certain amount of land, you could apply for a special use permit to have backyard chickens, but you had to pay, like, I want to say it was like $635 or something just for the application to get the special use permit. And we were getting these, like, every couple of months we're getting a backyard chicken application. And we finally decided, you know what, if you meet these criteria, and I don't know, there's like 6 or 10 or however many criteria, if you meet these criteria, you can have backyard chickens by right. So we did update that ordinance. We got rid of the special use permit. So now, if you meet the criterion, you can have backyard chickens, and you don't have to pay us anything. So we do.
And in land use, we are going through the ordinances right now and cleaning them up and making some updates. So they have been having quite a bit of discussion on updating all those. So, but just one part of the ordinances, so a little bit at a time.
I did see William Road mentioning that 5-year transportation plan that I was talking about, but I so it's is it closed? I was not aware of that because I used it a few months ago and it was fine. So
It just closed recently, just a few, like just right when the whole state budget issue. I thought maybe somebody would closed it because of some infighting, that it just all of a sudden just closed. So not on that one. I mean,
I really think we would spend money fixing the road if they're not going to. So that probably. I don't know. Does anybody know why?
yeah. Yeah. But we'll look into that for you.
Yeah, so one thing I can say is that if you want to get involved, there's a number of ways you can do that. As Gloria mentioned, there's the Planning and Zoning Commission meets in the evening, and that's something that is interesting to attend. There's things that go on there that probably a lot of people don't realize. If you go to committee meetings, that's where really all the discussion happens, is in the committee meetings. Those are during the day. If you come to the full board meeting, you get sort of a general sense of what we do, but we don't have much discussion at the board meetings. We've already done our discussion. We've hammered it out, and we're just voting yes or no at that point. So those meetings can be a little dry. But if you go to the committee meetings, that's where the discussion and the arguments happen, is in committee.
Yes. Yeah, always before a board meeting, there's a sign-up sheet. So if you want to have something to say during public comment, and that is always in any committee meeting also, that we always have public comment. And the other thing is, too, if you want to get involved, we have a lot of appointments that go on in sewer, water, land use, public health department. There's a lot of different commissions, boards and commissions throughout the county. Some of them get stipends, some of them do not. And we are always looking for good candidates. And so if you are interested in any type of commission or appointment to a board, let us know, and we'll keep your name. And when we have appointments that come up, because a lot of times if we don't have somebody to fill them, somebody who's on it just stay on it, and maybe it's not really the best person. So.
town are you in? You know, Joliet has a non-emergency phone number that you can call. And he had a question about alley. He had some alley work done, and it's now kind of been a few years, and it's falling apart a little bit. But they have a non-emergency number for road, but just call the non-emergency number, and they have a whole committee that works on those kind of issues. So just reach out to them, and there should be somebody to answer for you. Okay? Okay. Yeah. You're welcome.